Helen Prejean, C.S.J. is a Roman Catholic nun, a member of the Congregation of St. Joseph and a leading American advocate for the abolition of the death penalty. Early life. Helen Prejean was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the daughter of Augusta May, a nurse, and Louis Sebastian Prejean, a lawyer. She joined the Sisters of St. Joseph of Medai in 1957. In 1962, she received a Bachelor of Arts in English and Education from St. Mary's Dominican College, New Orleans, Louisiana. In 1973, she earned a Master of Arts in Religious Education from St. Paul University in Ottawa, Canada. She has been the Religious Education Director at St. Francis Cabrini Parish in New Orleans, the Formation Director for her religious community, and has taught junior and senior high school death row ministry. Her efforts began in New Orleans, Louisiana, in 1981. In 1982, an acquaintance asked her to correspond with convicted murderer Elmo Patrick Sonia, located in the Louisiana State Penitentiary. Sonia was sentenced to death by electrocution. She visited Sonia in prison and agreed to be his spiritual advisor in the months leading up to his execution. The experience gave Prejean greater insight into the process involved in executions, and she began speaking out against capital punishment. At the same time, she also founded Survive, an organization devoted to counseling the families of victims of violence. Prejean has since ministered to many other inmates on death row and witnessed several more executions. She served as national chairperson of the National Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty from 1993 to 1995. Dead Man Walking. Dead Man Walking, a biographical account of her relationship with Sonia and other inmates on death row, served as the basis for a feature film, an opera, and a play. In the film, she was portrayed by Susan Sarandon, who won an Academy Award for Best Actress. Although Prejean herself was uncredited, she made a minor cameo as a woman in a candlelit vigil scene outside the Louisiana State Penitentiary. In addition to Sonia, the account is based on the inmate Robert Lee Willie, who, with his friend Joseph Jesse Vaccaro, raped and killed 18-year-old Faith Hathaway on May 28, 1980. 8 days later, kidnapping a Madisonville couple from alongside the Chifuncte River in Louisiana and driving them to Alabama. They raped the 16-year-old girl, Debbie Morris, who would later become the author of her book Forgiving the Dead Man Walking, and then stabbed and shot her boyfriend, 20-year-old Mark Brewster, leaving him tied to a tree paralyzed from the waist down. In December 2010, Prejean donated all of her archival papers to DePaul University, campaigns, book, and awards. In 1999, Prejean formed Moratorium 2000, a petition drive that eventually grew into a national education campaign, the Moratorium Campaign. Initially staffed by Robert Jones, Teresa Maish, and Jenny O'Keefe, the organization witnessed to innocence composed of death row survivors who were convicted for crimes they did not commit. Started under the Moratorium Campaign. Prejean's second book, The Death of Innocence, an eyewitness account of wrongful executions, was published in December 2004. In it, she tells the story of two men, Dobie Gillis Williams and Joseph Odell, whom she accompanied to their executions. She believes that both men were innocent. The book also examines the recent history of death penalty decisions by the Supreme Court of the United States and looks at the track record of George W. Bush as governor of Texas. In 1998, Prejean was given the Pacem in Terris Award, named after a 1963 encyclical letter by Pope John XXIII that calls on all people of goodwill to secure peace among all nations. Pacem Pacem in Terris is Latin for peace on earth. Prejean now bases her work at the Death Penalty Discourse Network in New Orleans and spends her time giving talks across the United States and around the world. She and her sister Mary Ann Antrobus have been deeply involved at a center in Nicaragua called Friends of Barahona. Awards and recognition. Prejean has given commencement addresses to more than 50 colleges and universities around the world. 2013 Robert M. Holstein Faith Doing Justice Award from the Ignatian Solidarity Network. 1998 World Pacem in Terris Award. 1996 Pax Christi USA Pope Paul VI Teacher of Peace Award.